Comics Watch. Comics Watch. Comics Watch.
Now I am become death.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Comics Watch, your one daily source of comics news, reviews, and just general shenanigans. Joining me, as always, is the man who lords over all the comics, the man who is such a fan of comics, he created a league. We have Jared.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. Just hanging in there.
Nice. Just want to compliment your choice in t-shirts today.
Why, thank you.
So apparently Jared has like a pretty like kind of like big headline he wants to talk about. So we're just gonna jump into that. Wait. I have to play the intro.
Oh yeah, okay.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
All right, before you do that, I do have an announcement to make. For the people who are waiting for Screecher 3, I did get word from RJ from Critical Blast. The remaining copies of Screecher 3 will be shipped out tomorrow. So Screecher 3 will be fully fulfilled as of tomorrow. So I just want to get that out of the way. And we have Cameron Bailey in the chat.
What's up, Cameron?
And Jared, you have something you'd like to share with the class?
So Tom Brevoort. All right. So Tom Brevoort was the editor-in-chief of Marvel. He's one of the chief Peter can't be with Mary Jane people at Marvel. So, and apparently he's also been informally editing the Spider-Man books, even though he's the group editor for X-Men. So everyone's been like taking his cue. So he took to Blue Sky or Twitter, whichever app this is. And so people were critiquing the Spider-Man run, as they should. Amazing Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is great. So they brought this up. So he keeps trying to justify the Amazing Spider-Man direction. So one of the things that he said, he threw the previous run under the bus. So here's what he said. And Nick, the theme of this headline is digging a deeper hole. All right. So this is what the person he was responding to said. I wouldn't call Mary Jane was trapped in a post-apocalyptic timeline dimension destroyed by an evil math wizard obsessed with a fake Mayan god named after 5 days in the Mayan calendar because they were using 2012 whatever, in service of the premise of the series. So that was his whole thing. So Brevoort says, hey, a not great story is a not great story. Even long-running series have some duds. This is after. So he tried to justify Ultimate Spider. So this started with him saying Ultimate Spider-Man is not necessarily selling better than Amazing because Peter and MJ are together. It's mostly because it's a higher quality series. And then people are like,
what?
Are you admitting there's a quality problem with Marvel books now? So then that happens. And he basically called the Zeb Wells run a dud. And I'm like, then why did you push it? So then he gets, this is the biggest piece of BS here. He goes, so he starts comparing it to Absolute Batman. You may be wondering how he's going to do that. So he goes, Martha Wayne is an essential element of Absolute Batman. That's different from the regular book. So it's analogous to Peter and MJ in Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't think it's reasonable for those sales either, but this is a sort of argument you guys are making. Correlation isn't causality, but then people are like, with the okay. So yes, Martha Wayne is alive in Absolute Batman. That's not a status quo that the fan base has been demanding for 20 years.
Jared, obligatory save Martha.
I know. Yeah, and people have been clamoring for the return of Peter and MJ for decades. No one was ever clamoring for the return of Batman's mother.
Also, it's even without that, it's very much an apple and oranges situation.
It gets worse for him. So
right.
He goes, yes, Tom, Brevoort, Batman was cratering in sales. So DC responded by cutting the Zdarsky run short and getting their EOC and one of their most successful Batman writers to make a sequel. to one of their best-selling stories, and then brought in a top name to write it going forward. They made big changes. So what they're trying to, so he's trying to, and then here's what Brevoort
Batman, the one comic that has been keeping DC afloat the past 10 years.
except for Absolute Wonder Woman now. So get this.
It's selling badly. The one comic. Sorry.
Brevoort's kind of lying. So you know what he's not telling you?
Oh, kind of.
All right. So Amazing Spider-Man outsells the main Spider-Man book, right? So he's arguing that it's not Amazing Spider-Man is still like is a good distance away. What he's not telling you is that Amazing Spider-Man, the main Spider-Man book, is shipping twice a month, while Absolute Batman and Batman is 1 and 1. So he's not telling you that. Guess what? You're not giving accurate information.
So Absolute Batman. Let me see if I get my facts straight.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman, which is shipping once a month, is beating in sales the book that is shipping twice a month.
No. That's Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is beating in sales the book that. So Ultimate Spider-Man is beating Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, the in-continuity one that everyone hates, is shipping twice a month. Absolute Batman is beating regular Batman. Both are doing once a month. So people are like, there are so many ways why that analogy just doesn't work. My point is, he keeps making very fallacious comparisons to try and say, no, sir.
See, this isn't like stretching the truth. This is just outright falsehoods.
Yeah, and Robert and I have a theory that the reason why he's doing this, because after that New York Comic-Con panel fiasco, someone above him is taking a look at the Spider-Man books going, what the hell are you doing? And you notice Brevoort's also pissed off that whenever they have Peter and MJ in a movie, they're always together. Because he hates MJ.
Which, I don't know if you heard, but apparently Sadie Sink got added to, you notice how they're all saying she's going to play Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but there's only one redhead. That watch, this is so Marvel Studios that they want to course correct. They're like, Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see her playing MJ. That would actually work really well.
Yeah, I think she like, to be fair, she'd make a good Jean Grey though too.
She would, but I would believe she's gonna be Jean Grey if it was released in an X-Men movie.
Yeah, having Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie is an interesting choice, to say the least. Just watch. They announced an X-Men movie, and they cast an Emma Frost and a Cyclops. Jared
Yes! If they passed Henry Cavill as Cyclops and Gal Gadot as Emma Frost, then I got something going there.
So explain to everyone about Cyclops and Emma Frost and how you feel about it.
They've been a couple since the Grant Morrison run of X-Men, and they've been a very good couple. I mean, I did.
It's your Marvel Super Wonder.
Yes, that and Bucky Barnes and Black Widow. I have two Marvel Super Wonders. Obviously, besides Hyperion and Power Princess.
Oh, that's your one. That is your one.
That's my one. But that's the thing. It's like, but again, it is funny because Brevoort hates Mary Jane, and that's the other theory as to why they're bringing back Gwen Stacy, like the Gwen Stacy as Gwenpool, that they're gonna have Peter get back together with Gwen Stacy so they can not have him with that. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if they had just Gwen Stacy on her own without the Gwenpool stuff, I actually wouldn't be like opposed to that. Oh, we got Pika Shades making a rare appearance on the Phoenix Press. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when it comes to like MJ or Gwen, I prefer Gwen and Peter.
I prefer MJ just so I can rub it in Marvel's face. I like
that. I respect.
Ultimate Spider-Man is beating you a-holes.
Yeah. So Jason Ingram says, I would believe she is MJ if there was a good Star Wars movie. and they deleted what. Yeah, that's not going to happen for a while, my friend. Sadly. So, would you like to go on to the main event, sir?
Let's do it. All right, so let me share my screen.
All right, so we're doing a review of a classic from my teenage years. We are doing Nightwing and Huntress.
I thought we were gonna do system that's drawn in stone tablets.
I was waiting for that.
You said from your teenage years.
Yes, and by teenage, I'm talking early 2000s, you dum-dum.
BC. I gotcha. Yeah, so we're covering this, and it's as soon as I boot this up. So it's drawn by Greg Land,
Which we actually, I think one of our earliest episodes of Comics Watch, we did an episode on Greg Land, which actually is one of our better performing episodes.
So Greg Land is notorious for tracing, and from, let's say, certain adult sources. That's why if you notice, all of his female characters, whenever he draws stuff, are like, always.
Yeah.
And now that I pointed out, and when someone pointed it out to me, I'm like, oh.
I feel like there was a time before he started tracing, because like some of his
There
art
was, and I think this kind of falls into that, but actually, his first cover was for like a small print-like comic, and even there, he swiped from Jim Lee.
Oh, that is a Dick move, a Dick Grayson move.
He's done it forever.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Nightwing Huntress. And pretty interesting storyline so far. So it's drawn by Greg Land and Bill Sienkiewicz, and it's written, ironically, by a guy named Devin Grayson.
A woman, actually.
Okay, a woman named Grayson. Isn't that interesting?
Also, this is the same scribe who did that famous blockbuster Death issue.
Okay.
Which we need to review that issue at some point.
So we open up reading old issues like this from the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which makes me go, what happened to this man? Yeah, exactly. Well, Ultimate Fantastic Four was also drawn by Greg Land. And you know how, like, the Fantastic Four in that are supposed to be younger, like 20s or stuff? He always draws all of his female characters, no matter if it's like the teenagers and the X-Men, in very provocative poses.
Ooh.
To the point where I'm like, why didn't Marvel catch this? Including like 15-year-old Hope Summers or Kitty Pryde. Exactly. So we open up and there's a murder. So it's kind of, so this whole thing is like a murder mystery like thing. And I want to say this, what I do like about this series, first off, is in terms of art, shadows and darkness. Obviously, I love this the blood splatter that like trails with her hair. You can see her hair like on the wall and stuff. It's that's well done. Credit where credit is due. He probably swiped it from something. There you go.
I don't want to know where he swiped it from.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what I will say, I'm getting to where I love Nightwing's like intro in terms of the criminals, where he's pantomiming a bat logo to make them think that Batman's here. I'm like, that is so Nightwing.
Also, so this came out I think like late 90s, early 2000s. The Image influence is still here, not as much as because like for the very first episode we reviewed Nightwing Volume 1. I feel like the Image influence is still here. You can still see it in some panels.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, but the other thing is that I like Huntress's costume. Granted, I like the more modern one a little more, but this one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, what's really interesting is in the 90s they actually had her covered up more.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really good
thing about the opposite of the 90s, because if you've seen Sue Storm's costume from the 90s.
Oh, yes. There's actually a really good Huntress story called Huntress Cries for Blood. Mm-hmm. That's really good that we might cover at some point.
Dope. Because I love Huntress. She's one of my favorite like street level characters. Yeah, see right here. He just shines his in the lights and make it look like the bat. And he goes, I'm not Batman, but I share his views on organized crime. So let's do this.
That's what I love about Dick Grayson. He's got the quips. Like he just enjoys it.
He's kind of like Spider-Man, if you will.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's the type of guy that'll go, "Oh, knives, my one weakness. Oh no, so sharp."
I think him and Spider-Man would get along. They'd be best friends.
Could you see Andrew Garfield playing Nightwing?
Yeah, actually, I could.
I kind of could. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, wait a second. He make a good Nightwing.
He's definitely got the acrobatics for it.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of this is very high energy, like art, which again is still that 90s image, like influence that's seeping in here. And everyone,
which, by the way, is not a criticism. It is not a criticism.
No, it's not. And everyone's ridiculously jacked, but that's just comics and the 90s.
Dick Grayson's workout routine.
Yeah, exactly. And then we see Huntress again. So they did the whole fully covered costume, and this is what she even had in the JLA run because she was on the Justice League at one point. And the thing about Huntress, for those of you that don't know, so she's similar in a way. You could think of her as the Red Hood before Red Hood because it's like she's the black sheep of the Bat family because she's into more lethal force.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, she also has like a similar origin, like, but also like her parents like have like mob connections, and the Bertinellis were killed when she was a child, and she saw through like a thing. So she has kind of a very similar Bat-esque origin. But another detail of this costume I want to point out for Jared, you notice she's wearing a Catholic cross on her costume
because she's Catholic. I like that. And by the way, so this is also, we're talking about Helena Bertinelli, not Helena Wayne. And this is before, because in modern days, I think Jeff Johns merged the two together into one person. I don't know. I wasn't really tracking it because I'm like...
I mean, I think I've seen like the cliff notes of that storyline, and it kind of works where like she had, like, Catwoman had it put up for adoption, got adopted by the Bertinellis, her name changed to Bertinelli, so she is both a Bertinelli and a Wayne, and fine.
I'm like, oh, okay, at least you put some thought into it as opposed to retcon it and give Wonder Woman a B word for a daughter. Screw you, Tom King. So we get a Banner Shaw the costume. And again, I like the more darker colors they give her, like a dark purple. You know, she doesn't have like the ears that she will have in like the early 2000s. She instead just has the domino mask, which still works for her. And it's... You know what's kind of funny? It's like you could take her as like just female Batman, except she kills people.
Yeah, I mean, I do dig the color scheme. I mean, who knew purple and yellow worked so well for a superhero?
It's almost like it's Screeching time.
I was trying to keep it subtext, but you had to drag it above.
Nope, it's not. I have to make it a surface text. Now that's a pun for you.
It is a bad one, but...
So I like how, in many ways, you know what's kind of funny? It's like Nightwing is playing the Batman role in this because he's the one explaining, you can't always kill people and stuff. And he's like, it's not that we don't like you, it's just we disagree strongly with your, like, methods. And later on in the story, it's like, he goes, Batman may be strict with his rules, but he's effective. So I'm not gonna contradict him.
Well, here's the funny thing is they clearly state in the story that Batman's kind of like out of the picture, and Nightwing is pretty much babysitting Gotham for him.
Oh yeah, of course. Which is, yeah. So it's kind of funny is that in a way Nightwing is playing the Batman role, and it's kind of funny because of how many times he tries to say, "I don't want to be Batman."
I love Dick Grayson, his story.
And then we get a police interrogation, which I love the thwack and then the blood like going on the thwack. That's really creative. I appreciate that.
Bring back onomatopoeias in comics.
They kind of have them, but it's not like you don't have this many creative onomatopoeias.
Yeah.
And then so we get more images of Huntress, and yeah,
I like this panel layout. This panel layout is really good. I just gotta say, I always love it when art kind of goes over a panel a little bit. It kind of gives it more of like a 3-dimensional look.
Yeah, it looks like it's like when the images overlap. It's unique because a lot of it is like, because too often you'll see like the layout is just panel next to panel or like on top of it or like below it, but it's never like somewhat overlap. Sometimes they still do that, but so essentially they're investigating a crime scene, and then she kisses him, which Nightwing, I'm like, if I were Nightwing, I'd be like, so this is how it feels when Batman does this.
And I will say it's like her just kind of starting to flirt with him and then kiss him. It does kind of come out of nowhere to a degree.
Yeah, because we all know his heart belongs to Barbara Gordon.
Nope, that is not canon on this channel.
Well, actually, it is according to DC, so
not according to me.
I think he even is endeavoring to propose to her in the current run.
Nope.
If he does that, I'm going to rub it in your face for hours, sir.
For hours?
Yeah, I am going to continually retweet it so that you never escape it.
Mute.
Yeah, it'll never happen because DC doesn't like the Bat characters that team up with superpowered characters because it makes them look inadequate.
I'll make it legal.
Well, you have to be the editor-in-chief at DC, which you're not. That's
so when DC approaches me to do a run on the comics, like I want to do a Nightwing run, but only on the condition that I could have him and Corey together.
No,
and because I'm such a hot shot writer,
because you would have to be the editor-in-chief. The editor would just say, "No, you can't do that."
No, because I'm such a hot shot writer, and they want me on the comics. Like,
no,
all right, fine,
they
we'll
wouldn't do that. They learned that with Bendis. They're not to do that with Superman, so they're not going to do it with Batman.
Well, if I'm selling millions of copies of my stuff and they want me on it desperately, they will bend.
And then I'll be like, okay, I'll be on the Nightwing book, and
then I walk onto the Superman office and be like, the Wonder Woman.
Don't hire that man. He knows nothing about Superman. And
yeah, I tell them about you.
Well, if I write Wonder Woman, one thing's for sure is that say goodbye to Trinity. say goodbye. Britt and I have long conversations about how petty I would be. Like when people ask me in interviews, so what are your plans for Wonder Woman's daughter Trinity? And I would go, who?
If I wrote Wonder Woman, all seriousness, I would definitely bring back Donna Troy.
Well, it's not like she's away. She's in the run.
I would make her more prominent.
Well, yeah, because you actually care about the Wonder Woman characters, unlike the hack currently writing her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, by the way, I like this, this one panel shot. It's like, it's unique, I think. It's really cool.
I like how they got the titles on the drawer thing. It's really nice.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get a nice image of them swinging through the city. And I like the way that this page actually is lit.
Yeah, comic lighting is definitely a bit of a lost art.
Yeah, it's something that, like, because too often you just see the entire front of the character is lit, and I'm like, can you do it a little more unique here with the shading and everything? No, the answer is no. But then again, it's not necessarily the artist's fault. A lot of times it's because they have to rush to get things in on time.
Yeah, it's not even the artist's fault. This is squarely on a colorist, which I've worked with. Like, that's one of the things I really like about my Screecher colorist is they're really good with like the lighting.
Oh yeah, exactly. As someone that has read all the issues of Screecher so far, yes, I can back that up. I also love the way the light reflects off of her hair, and I'm like, oh, that is like, wow.
That is dedication. As someone who's been getting into coloring myself, and knows how much of a pain in the butt some of the stuff is. Oh God.
And even the top of their heads, because it's with the moonlight, it's a little white.
Yeah, because the thing about lighting as a colorist is you've got to keep track of like the light sources, the light rays. So like you notice in that top panel, the light is coming from, I think, the apartment buildings. So that's why the hair is all lit up on that side, because that's where the light is coming from. So you got to mentally keep track of the light sources when you're coloring it. That's very tricky.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of like magician stuff that gets done. It's like when I was watching Dawson draw my book, I'm like, how the hell are you doing this? I still don't get it. Magic, exactly. Imagination, to quote
I mean, yeah,
SpongeBob.
it actually does require a good bit of
Well,
imagination.
yeah, exactly. And I base the other thing I really love about this story wise is that it's basically a murder. It's as someone that like just watched The Penguin, it's kind of similar to that. It involves the crime families and stuff. So it's kind of cool seeing that. Then I love Nightwing. He just shows up in front of this guy. He goes, okay. And he's gonna go interrogate this guy, and then Huntress just drops in and goes, "I got it." She's like, back off, he's mine. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. And then she just tosses him into a table, and I love Nightwing is like, hey, stop that, stop it, rein yourself.
And then she gets all flirty again.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
okay,
yeah.
I scroll up. I want to read some of these panels. That's enough. Rein yourself in. All right, down, please. All right. Wait, that is not how we get things done. It's how I get things done. So, if we is you and me, you'd better get used to it. Oh, God, she's getting so flirty.
Yeah.
What is it with those Italian women? I swear.
As an Italian, I will say no comment.
Okay.
Exactly. It's an art. It's our number one cultural export besides pizza.
Pizza, Ferraris, and women.
Pizza and very attractive women. There you go.
Yes, Italian women are.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have a nice intimate conversation in a alleyway, and then Deck is mentally thinking. So this is why Bruce and Selena spend so much time in alleyways. And yeah, so here's the thing. It's like they talk about like, again, it's like you're a coward because you won't go far enough to achieve. This is basically the Under the Red Hood argument before the Under the Red Hood book came out.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. It's a good point, actually.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were. Well, obviously, they didn't know who the Red Hood was at this point because this came out a good over a decade before the book came out. But still, it's like it kind of shows that like that whole argument is not new, which I like when they challenge Batman like this, or Nightwing in this case.
Well, via proxy anyway.
They're challenging Batman's ideas, and I'm like, yes, call this out because no kill rules BS. So, yes, and I will die on that hill. And so again, more really good lighting because now the light source is below them. That's why the front part is lit.
And almost, honestly, the way this is lit, it almost makes it look like Nightwing is wearing his late 80s, early 90s outfit.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, the one with the collar?
Yeah, like the one with like the yellow band like right all the way across it.
Yeah. That's Nick's favorite costume for Nightwing.
No, it isn't.
I'm only kidding. Mine is the red new 52 because they brought in the black and red color design, and I'm like,
I don't like Nightwing is blue. He's blue.
I say he's red. Problem solved. So
I say you're wrong.
Whatever. So and I like this. This is such a Batman thing. This cop goes to the evidence room to like tamper with it, and then Huntress just appears. No explanation. She's just there.
As one is wont to do.
Yeah, I love that. She's like, I'm called the Huntress. I'm one of the good guys in a very simple world. I'm like, yeah, anti-hero. And then we skip around it, and then there's a gun battle actually a springing operation in the interrogation in the like.
Say what you will about the art, but like the panel design of this book is amazing.
It's really good. It's really good. This is before Land got really like
lazy
with it, lame with it, if you will. And oh my gosh, yep, she's playing games. Hang on, sorry. Yep, Huntress is playing games for Nightwing. Sorry, that pose is very gamey.
Oh yeah, she knows what she's doing.
She goes, I have to be a teacher to stop you from talking like you were born in a circus tent. Oh, if only you know. And then they kiss. They kiss. And then Nightwing is like, Babs and or Corey are going to kill me. I gave you a little honoring, even though he's like, I'm more scared of Corey because she can fry me. Issue 3.
Yeah, and this I love like the follow up to this. This is hilarious. And oh god, this cover is amazing.
Yep, just a kiss. And this Batman, what do you think you're doing?
And I love Huntress just standing back there smirking.
She's clearly the Catwoman in this analogy.
She's enjoying the chaos.
And then he wakes up. He's like, ah, and he sees all of her great. Apparently she's a teacher, and she's like she's giving people lots of A's. I see a D. I see a C.
Nightwing certainly gave her a D.
Yeah, exactly. That's a real dick move, Nick.
All right. This is my favorite part. First panel, please. Oh,
that is the first panel.
Well, the next panel. All right, I want it zoom in, please. Barbara, Babs, you there? Dick, sorry, I thought it was late, even for you. Decided to catch some D's. Your signal's not coming from the manor. Where are you? Why are you whispering? Are you naked? No.
Clarifies to something. They're not together in this yet.
No.
I say yet.
I'm at hell. I'm with the Huntress at her apartment. What? Shh! You wake her. Wake her, Dick. What the hell are you doing? That is exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's good. I love that. He basically explains the whole thing. I love this. Hang on. This is my favorite part where he's like, tell Oracle I say hi and make sure she knows.
Oh god.
You're perfectly safe here. Because remember, Birds of Prey is going on around this time period as well. By the way, they're releasing an omnibus of Gail Simone's Birds of Prey. You better believe I'm picking that up.
Yeah, we should probably cover that at some point.
That'd be dope. Mm-hmm. It's one of the few series but by her that's actually decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how Huntress is just standing there in the robe like heh 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 heh.
It is so wild.
Yeah. See, we all know Richard Grayson prefers humans to Tamaranians.
You bastard!
When you think about it, how many aliens has he slept with compared to humans? He clearly has a preference.
See, the problem is,
I'm right.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit nasty here. The problem is, you can't really tell if you get Starfire pregnant because she's always glowing. That was so bad. That was so bad.
Oh god, yes. That's good. I love that.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
Oh my gosh, Nick. That's no different than anything else you say on these shows.
Starfire, you're glowing. I'm always
there we
glowing.
go. I'm always glowing. But your stomach is getting bigger. Oh, okay. Do we know if Tamaranians age faster because she was pregnant? Would that mean the baby would develop faster? Is it a situation where within a week of getting pregnant, the baby's coming out, or how's that work?
I don't want to answer
Nick,
these
you're
questions
you're the biology expert.
What?
If you ship this relationship, you have to know the reproducing things.
No, that's not in the contract.
Yes, it is. I will make it legal.
No, I will make it not legal.
You have to know you have to know the Tamaranian birth cycle.
Says who?
Says DC Comics.
I am not DC Comics.
In order to be taken seriously as a shipper, you must know the birth cycle.
Okay, what's an Amazon's birth cycle?
Oh, what's going on?
Oh my god, fireworks!
That could not be timed better.
What's an Amazon's birth cycle?
Okay, so are you going with? Okay, so it depends on the origin because New
I regret this
52,
already.
it's that they go to ships, they sleep with the sailors, they bring the baby home. If the babies are male, they put them with Hephaestus. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Pika Shades. See, Pika Shades knows more about Tamarind biology than you do. You're welcome. Anyway,
All right.
speaking of biology,
we're supposed to be reviewing a book here.
Speaking of biology, so they're acting very much like a married couple here. I mean, she's in the robe, he's in his boxers, and she's giving him coffee. You know that she's interested. If a woman's in a robe and offering you coffee,
I mean, I think the fact that they just had sex is a pretty clear indication that she's interested.
That too. I think it's more the robe and the coffee, but yeah, that helps.
I
too.
mean, the passionate sex, just that's a hint, I guess.
Oh yeah, particularly in terms of the destroyed bed. I'm sure that's an indicator right there. But nah, I think it's more this.
You are a simple man, Jared.
And then Nightwing goes and visits some lady of the night because he's trying to get information on the streets. And I'm like, oh God. I love where they go, are you Batman? He goes, not this week, no, but I do a great Batman impersonation.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, I wonder, Nick, did he keep his mask on? It's better that way.
The fact that it took this long for us to make
Hang on. Oh my gosh, I don't see his mask.
crack.
They kept it on. It truly is better that way. They did.
Oh my God! What
They
the
kept it
hell?
on. Oh my gosh, yes. I had to reference that once if we're talking about, and he did a Batman impression, and he's talking to a blonde lady. This could not have been set up any better. And he's talking to a pink-haired person. Oh no, he's going to be canceled.
Oh no! He's like,
And then Huntress shows up.
I do like this pose. It's really good.
I love this line. So the guy goes, oh, boss, thank God you're back. You should have seen it. Malfatti, these two costumes freaks just come. The Batman? Actually, I play a little rough for Batman's taste.
Oh, she was definitely playing rough earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the hotel room with the mask still on?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I have another Corey and Dick joke. I wonder. So there's a line from Dark Knight Returns when after Superman and Wonder Woman sleep together, she instantly knows she's pregnant. So I wonder, is that the same thing with Corey, where after one time she instantly knows she can go, I'm pregnant? This is what happens when Nick and I cover Nightwing.
Leave now.
I have to
And
because
never come back.
I have to because Nightwing is like Daredevil. He sleeps with so many people.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great pose. Trapeze artist. You're seeing the trapeze. You could say it's very trapeze.
So in a later issue of Nightwing, him and Tim are like doing some training around the city, like they're walking around blindfolded. And he says, getting with Huntress was just dumb.
You know, I wonder, actually, did Bruce ever give them the birds and the bees talk?
No, he gave them the birds and the bats talk.
No, he gave them the bats and the cats talk. There you go. I got you. And he goes, and here's how it went. I can tell you that this is exactly how it went. Batman goes, okay, don't engage in romantic relationships. And Nightwing is like, okay, engage in romantic relationships. Got it.
Yes. And make sure to wear your bat condoms.
Keep your masks on. It's better that way.
And by mask, he means condom.
No, he also means domino mask. Yes, he also means that.
No, but also, let's be honest.
Did you know there's
bat condoms are probably a thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's a bad catheter because of how long he has to be on stakeouts. But did you know there's a group of shippers that ship Batman and Joker? They attribute the the like obsession the two have with each other as a romantic attraction.
Or
Oh, Alfred probably did. That's true. Imagine Alfred gives adult Bruce the Birds and the Bees talk when he first meets Selena. And then watch Batman's like, I know the talk. Trust me, in 20 years, I'll be written by someone from the UK who will retcon in that Tali and I had a kid.
And in 25 years, I'll be written by this Italian Catholic from America who refuses to ship me with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I would have it. I'm gonna pull a Spider-Man, and I would say, you know, Diana, I've always considered you to just be a sister,
You would,
and
do
I
that.
always will. That was the best part of that. This is the one good thing Tom King did in that. So, Nick, the way it's set up, so they do the story that is literally a plagiarized rip-off of a Superman Wonder Woman story. First off, Tom King does that a lot. He plagiarizes other people's stories. So he's kind of like Greg Land. So what happens is Batman and Wonder Woman go into this dimension to like fight and like hold back like a thing. They go in there and they're to fight. They're there for a while. The issue ends. They're about to kiss. You've probably seen this panel. Literally, I kid you not. Literally, the next issue, the first page, Batman and Wonder Woman saying this will never happen. It's almost like Tom King was like, no.
I can totally see, like, you do like a Superman run, and you literally have Wonder Woman, Batman agree. Yeah, this would never work.
Yeah, exactly. I would also have Superman referring to Lois. He goes, okay, I wish I could stay out, but the old ball and chain is holding me there. In many ways, she's like my enemy, General Zod. Maybe they should get together.
Also, if you write for Superman, if you do not put a line where someone says Lois Lane, more like Lois Lane.
Oh, that's definitely happening. That is.
I can see
I'm gonna have that
Mephisto
even
saying
write
that.
Wonder Woman. That's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely going to do that. And by the way, I will have someone. If I do write Batman, the first panel is gonna be criminals running. And then Batman is jumping on them, and then the giant in exclamation speech panel says, "Oh no, it's the goddamn Batman!"
Oh, Frank Miller's writing this issue.
Yeah, and then when he sees Selena, is like, "We keep our masks on. It's better this way." Yeah, exactly.
See, here's the thing: you're going to be writing Superman. I'm going to be writing Batman at the time. We're going to be doing this at the same time. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll be fun. That would actually be really fun. We could co-write the world's finest book.
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be dope.
I mean, we will be co-writing a world's finest book here towards the end of the year, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, exactly. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this perch of like Nightwing. It's really cool. A lot of this is like they're clearly doing the Batman iconography, but without Batman.
Which is fine. It's Nightwing.
I'm like fine. When did this come out?
Let me look it up.
I'm trying to ask because this could have been during Nightfall. I don't think so.
Looks like it came out in 98.
So this is after Nightfall.
Yeah, it's not after Nightfall, but before No Man's Land.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. And then there's Huntress being more of a person, and I like where Nightwing goes, "I'm impressed, but that's quite a lot of other ways. So how can you be so sure?" And he goes, I love where she goes, "Wise guy SOP. I may not be the world's greatest detective, but there are some things I know, Nightwing. I tell my students that it's an age of speculation. The mafia's mine." No, she knows the mafia, hinting at her tragic origin. And okay, so last issues. This is a 4-issue. It flew by really fast when I was reading this, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things is
I love the cover so much.
The covers on all 4 issues are on point. I gotta say,
Oh
my favorite thing is like when Nightwing swoops in. It's like So, Nightwing, I think us sleeping together was a mistake. I know there was attraction. There was opportunity. You literally came on to him.
No, what I would do if I were writing this is I would have it go, okay, the next time you see Oracle, just tell her it's okay. I'm not stealing your man.
I mean, they weren't really together at the time, so.
No, I would retroactively revisit the story and make it, yeah, they were. I'm only kidding. So then they're driving in the Huntress Mobile, which is just a Lamborghini or a Ferrari.
I mean, it's an Italian supercar.
Yeah, it's an Italian supercar. It's not even colored purple. It's just bright red. And I'm like, at least theme it, Huntress. I love where he goes, I can't believe you. The Batmobile is sitting unused in perfectly good condition, but you can't take it on a mission because you're afraid to take me back to the Batcave. I love Nightwing's response. Huntress, don't take it personally, but hardly anyone's allowed in the Batcave.
So, she's afraid he's gonna pull a Robert Pattinson, which is have sex with him on top of the Batmobile, which reportedly happened on the set of the Batman.
Oh, you didn't hear their masks on?
Did you hear about that? Like, reportedly, Robert Pattinson had sex with Zoe Kravitz on the hood of the Batmobile.
Yeah, and I hope they kept their masks on.
Because that's better that way.
You keep setting me up for that, Nick.
I hate you so much. I hope you realize that.
Yes, I do. I realize that, and I like how I like how in comics at the time, whenever darkness is brought in, they put like a bluish filter on it. They did this a lot in a Wonder Woman comic I was reading a while back.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting, I would say.
Yeah, and then we see more of the criminals. We see Commissioner Gordon wondering, I wish my daughter would date that Nightwing fellow.
You know, Babs. I wish you'd call up Bruce Wayne's ward. What's his name? Phallus Grayson.
Phallus Grayson. I was wondering if I was gonna have to make an old man moment. Then I figured, oh yeah, Nick's being serious. But I love this panel of the two. These are obviously not the same window, but it's kind of cool that it's framed that way.
Yeah, it's in film you call it the Kuzlov effect.
Oh, okay, nerd.
Okay.
And then we see more of the. I like the silhouette of them just up there. Look like they're about to screech.
Did somebody say screecher?
It's screeching time. So does that mean that when Screecher teams up with Morbius as they go into battle, he'll go it's Morbin time and she'll go it's Screeching time?
I'm sure if I do a team up issue with somebody, they're going to insist on putting the Screeching time line in there.
Yeah, exactly. She's watching Power Ranger. No, here's the way to do it. She's trying to come up with a catchphrase, and she happened to be watching Power Rangers. So someone goes, how about Screeching time? And she goes, well, that's stupid.
Okay.
I got you. There you go. I got you. You can use that for free.
Okay. Fine. Whatever.
By the way, I love the way this is shot because Huntress is lying down, and it looks like he's checking out her ass.
I mean, do you see that ass?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it is Nightwing. Well, can I say, I find it really annoying how that's Nightwing's defining characteristic in so many DC adaptations. Like, they literally have, like, a manga-style book called Nothing But Nightwing.
Yeah. Also, like, the hypocrisy of it. Like, how they objectify Nightwing. But, like, the females, they don't objectify.
They literally did an entire Nightwing cover of him doing yoga.
Yeah, I mean, less we say about Harley Quinn, the better.
Oh, yeah, goddamn.
Because I actually have a bit of a viral tweet going on right now where I compare, like, the Invincible.
You know they have a pill for that.
What?
I'm sorry, you said viral. I had to.
Oh, okay. Where it's comparing the Invincible.
Yeah.
Like that, like, let me just get that ready. And yes, all right. I'm gonna have to do this real quick.
No,
And then,
no. Where's my comic? Yeah, there you go.
all right, so here it is. And also, yeah, it's going viral, buddy. Look at the views.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, like Invincible has like, and then Adam Eve is like,
I will say, isn't it kind of funny how people considered that sex scene to be a nude scene, and I'm like, why?
yeah, I went on a rant about it on one of my
That's
previous
not a nude
streams.
scene.
It is the most PG, like that is like there are Disney sex scenes that are more risque than that.
The sex scene in the Eternals was more risque than that. Remember, they made a big deal about it being the first Marvel scene to have the first Marvel movie to have a sex scene. That when you watch it, you're like, "That's it."
Oh God! See, I've watched it as Eternals, and like I can't even remember a sex scene. That's how forgettable that movie was.
See, here's the thing. I enjoy that movie, but it's very flawed. Did you know the original ending is that Chloe Zhao wanted the Eternals to lose and the emergence to actually happen, so the world blows up? But Marvel told her,
What?
we need to make more movies. You can't do this. Because remember, that was during the time when Kevin Feige was like, we have no plan. We're just going to like do isolated stories. But I don't know if you saw this, but the Russo brothers came out and said, Marvel has to go back to building up to a threat instead of just all these slipshod stories.
Also, the other thing that really pissed me off is like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is so perfect for this role. Yeah, because you literally wrote it for him.
Or it's like I get concerned when like the Russos are like, oh yeah, he's so into it. He's writing it. He's creating a backstory, and I'm like, Doom has a backstory.
See, I know they're gonna like bring Peter into this and have it be like Doom versus Peter instead of like
He'll say Mr. Stark.
I am so not looking forward to that.
I don't know. We'll see. I love this, how she smacks them together. I love that.
Yeah.
I love when they do that. That's really cool. But and I love the terrific use of lighting where they're being like torched by the headlights. I love. I
even like the circle panel is really inventive.
Yeah. You don't see that often.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have Nightwing punching and the blood kind of having a semi 3D effect here.
Wait. Did you say Nightwing was punching?
Yeah.
Old man moment.
When I have as many as you do, then you can rub that in.
Hey, whatever qualifies, you gotta throw out there.
Hey, I hear Wheel of Time season 2 is good, so
you had to drop the nuke.
And of course, Nightwing shows up with flowers.
Also, he's wearing a bit of a disguise, like he's wearing like a fake goatee and whatnot.
So wait. Are you telling me that he's actually Chuck Norris in the Witness Protection Program? And
there's your one.
For a sequel movie?
I don't know how
Chuck Norris is so good at martial arts.
You pulled that one out of your butt, sir.
I'm just saying.
Actually, he looks a little bit more like Tony Stark in these photos.
He's actually Tony Stark. This is a Marvel DC crossover.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah, and then we get it. It's all ending. So, pretty good story.
I give this I think it's good. Bit generic, but overall
the art is what carries it, I think.
Which is weird, with it being Greg Land.
Yeah. I didn't see that many like people looking like they were in an adult film.
What's really funny is literally the first panel you have a girl with her mouth open.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Yep, I'll give it that.
So I think for the rest of the stream, we'll just talk about whatever comic book takes they want. So if you guys have any questions for us, anything you guys want us on, I think first off, Jared, what did you think of Invincible Season 3?
I loved it. I thought it was really good because I'm actually, it was kind of fun. So I got this at my comic book store. I picked up the second omnibus of it, and this is what it was adapting. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. I really, because I got to read it alongside the episode. So I'm like, oh, they definitely like nailed it. Plus, knowing where this goes in the future, I'm like, if you thought this season was brutal, oh boy.
It gets worse.
I'm really hoping they don't just, in other words, when they complete like going through the actual comic book series, they do more. In other words, maybe they'll do like a Guardians of the Globe series like Justice League Unlimited that takes place before the show starts, because there's plenty of story before that they can tell, like with War Woman, who is Wonder Woman. By the way, so speaking of that, I got that DC Dark Legion game, and it's actually more fun than the marketing puts it. In fact, it's kind of funny. They gave me Wonder Woman right from the start, so I'm like,
so Jared, what if they did a Guardians of the Globe movie and have Immortal?
All the Snyderverse actors are playing the Guardians of the Globe.
So Immortal is played by Henry Cavill, and War Woman is played by...
And J.K. Simmons has to play Omni-Man.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. I'm sure they can DH him. There's no way that tech does not look creepy.
Oh, and then we got Orthodox Media being chill with Cat. Got that game too. So, all right. Well, we wait for... Oh, okay. Sorry. So I'm gonna do the shout outs to memberships. So if you'd like to be a torchbearer for the channel, which gets you obviously we're gonna do the shout outs, and then you also get emojis and all that good stuff. It is $5 a month. So first off, we have the cringiest fellow ever. We have Jared from Comix League. Thank you for being a member.
Who is that guy? I hear he's very handsome and has good takes.
I hear he has super wonderful takes and ships.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's got a great comic book coming out too. JB, my man, and then also sub extraordinaire Jason Ingram, who we did see earlier. But yeah, have you played Marvel Rivals?
I have. It's really fun. I really love that. Iron Man is one of my main characters I use.
Oh God, we need to talk about this. Have you seen the State Farm commercial?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't actually watched the whole thing. All I've seen is that people are like, why can't DC actually do this?
All right, so it's a minute long and it's a commercial. I think we can get away with watching it.
Okay, if you want to do it, that's fine. I'm down.
We're gonna do it. It's let's see here. Especially since like you haven't seen it.
I've seen the costumes and stuff, so that's why I'm like, why can't DC actually do this? Like, well.
All right. All right. So yeah. You ready, sir?
Let's do it.
No, you're joking.
Even the Arkham games.
As havoc continues across Gotham City, it seems our only hope is Batman.
Batman?
Yeah, close enough. Bateman. Gotta tell you, the suit really bunches up in the old Batcave, if you know what I mean.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile,
Was
not
that
too fast, baby.
wait, was that the Snyderverse Batmobile?
What is dusk?
Isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy,
No, it was
Batemobile,
the
not too fast, baby.
Patterson-mobile.
me this.
What is dusk?
You don't have to answer in the form of a question.
What is dawn?
You don't need to answer like that.
Do something, Bateman!
Yeah, okay. Stop. Whoa, cat lady. Time out.
Wow.
Nice fanny bag.
Thank you. Rude. What is love?
All right.
Baby, don't hurt
Love,
me.
you know, just toss him.
Not all protection's the same.
Any last words?
That's really good.
Just one. It's a long one. Dermatologist.
That's why you need the real deal.
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something.
That's hurtful.
Citizens need help as vandalism spikes. Police
Never
say
play
that
with
the
poison
threat is
ivy.
suspected Poison ivy.
Someone's a flirt.
Wow.
Bateman, please.
Yeah, this is feeling much more Batman to me.
Are you serious, bro?
When it comes to protection, you
Batmobile.
wouldn't settle for Bateman when there's Batman. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Wow.
They put way too much effort into this, and God bless them.
Wow. The costumes look really good.
Yeah, like it is amazing. All right, Orthodox says the only DC I have nearby they can find is few issues of Transmetropolitan with that wacky Gonzo Journalist character spotted with some Hunter Thompson. Compared it to a mix of Batman Forever and Gotham on Fox. Yeah,
Kind of.
but yeah, wasn't that amazing?
I'm like, why can't we get commercials like that from DC and not from State Farm?
It kind of reminds me of like the old OnStar commercials from the 2000s. Have you seen those?
Yeah, with the Spider-Man. What they should do.
Oh, Batman.
Yeah, if I were in charge of that, I would literally have it where Jake from State Farm was like one of the Batman villains the whole time. Like he's.
Oh, by the way, you know who also endorses State Farm? J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah. So, so you know, one of the people in there is a streamer that just did a series of streams where he played through all the Arkham series, but dressed as a different Batman, and he set up an elaborate Bat cave.
Nice.
Hang on, I'll pull it up. Yeah, this is one of those like. Okay, good. Hang on. All right, here we go. So each stream, he actually had a different Bat cave.
All right, let me see. What
So
you
like
got
he
here,
has
brother.
this.
Oh,
Yeah, he played the entire each Arkham game just like this. Like I think this one was for Arkham Origins.
oh, that's a battle suit from BVS.
Yes, exactly. The Bat suit. Oh, for Arkham Knight, he dressed as the Arkham Knight version of Batman Beyond.
I love the extra effort. I love the extra effort.
Yeah,
you put into
exactly.
this.
It's an entire room. It's not just like this is a background. Because apparently he's a huge bat. He even had like different bat suits in the background here. Like that's the Arkham City Batman, and I'm like, I want money.
All right, okay. I gotta ask you this question. And guys, feel free to answer this also in the chat. Let's say you had FU money and you wanted to set up your own bat cave. What 5 suits would you have in display cases? And it could be Batman or other superheroes.
Batman Begins, Henry Cavill Superman. I'm debating whether black or the blue suit. I can decide that later. You know what? Screw it. Both. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, obviously. So I said Batman Begins. Affleck's a tactical bat suit. And
tell me, do you bleed?
I'd say the Chris Evans Captain America suit from Endgame. How about you? Oh, and by the way, it has to have a secret entrance that when I put my hand in there, it says "da-na-na-na-na-na-na Comics League." No. I put my hand on there, it says Lois Lane sucks.
No, you had to have a bust that you press a button and they slide down a pole.
And it's a Lois Lane bust. But all right, so you know what's kind of funny? I make people laugh now because, so, you know how she has powers now, right? It's heavily implied that she got the powers from General Zod. So I said literally they created Zois.
Zoics and Max and Bat for life.
Exactly!
So, for mine, I would have the Keaton Batman suit.
Of course.
I would have the Raimi Spider-Man suit.
That's a good one.
The Arrow, Green Arrow suit. There's 3. Then I'd probably have...
Which Green Arrow suit, though? Which
God,
season?
probably. I don't know, with sleeves, I guess.
I preferred the one without them. Now, would you get the Grant Gustin Flash suit?
Maybe. Ooh, the shadow.
Oh, that's a good one.
I do like that movie. I need to cover that at some point. I think I might have. I'm
Watch
not
it.
sure.
Does that have Alec Baldwin using a gun? Watch it. Watch it in retrospect.
I hope he's not feeling a bit rusty.
So anyway, I just started blasting.
Yeah. Adam West suit, Batman Return suit, Batman Begins suit, BVS suit, and Nightmare suit.
Hey, there you go. That's a good one.
I do have a soft spot for the Nightmare suit. I just think Batman with a trench coat is just so good.
Mm-hmm. Now, wait, here's a question, though. Because all of Affleck's suits are, like, just built onto the base suit, can I technically have a modular thing and have it, like, count where, like, the tactical suit counts as, like, the Nightmare suit, the regular suit, the anti-Superman suit?
Sure.
Okay, so
you're the one paying for this imaginary suit anyway.
Oh, and then I would also have the BVS the Justice League Batmobile with the artillery gun on there.
Like, dude, I'm getting the '89 Batmobile, so.
Of course you are.
By the way, if I ever get the '89 Batmobile and you come visit me, we are going to get drive-through.
We're getting drive-through, and we're gonna make a YouTube short. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's the short. Are you ready? So I would be walking, and I'll go, I'm kind of hungry. The Batmobile pulls up, the hatch opens, and you go, let's get drive-through. There you go. And then it cuts to Batman.
The only way we can do this properly is I'll be dressed as Batman, you dress as Superman.
Oh, yeah, of course. Henry Cavill, Superman, all the way. And then if we go to, like, the warehouse, the place where I actually fought, we can make a kryptonite spear, and then we can recreate the Martha scene. Lois, why did you say that name?
Oh, my God. The worst part is I could totally see myself be willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I show up in the Keaton suit, like, you know what, fine. And you let me do in the Keaton suit just because.
Yeah, and then we'll go, remember so we're recreating scenes from The Flash, your favorite DC movie.
See, for me, if I ever, like, if I get, like, a nerdy cosplay girlfriend, I'm going to recreate that scene from Batman Returns, like that end scene.
Yeah, but as you see, that DC Studios is reportedly hopeful that the Batman Part 2 will start filming in 2025. They're hopeful. Thank you, we're hopeful too.
I would like to see a Batman 2.
I'm like, just film the damn movie. How difficult could this be?
It's not difficult. It's more of a matter of desire and will, It's like, we've repeated this ad nauseum. Batman was successful, but not successful enough. The Penguin show was successful, but not successful enough. It's in this, like, really gray
if
area.
the Batman made $1 billion, as we have said, Matt Reeves would have been put in charge of DC Studios for sure. Or they would have offered him. Because you notice, look at one of the people they offered the job to, Todd Phillips. Boy, did we dodge a bullet with that one, huh? Because I watched the Joker 2, and in my mind, I kept thinking, by the way, Joker 2 is one of the movies where my dad and I had to pause it, and we looked at each other and says, this is crap, right? He's like, yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't even a fan of Joker 1. Like, I thought it was boring.
To a degree, it was. I get what they were going for. The problem is they kind of suffered in a smaller scale to what Sony suffered, because it's like, oh yeah, let's give all of Batman's rogues their own movies. And I'm like, Joker's one, we can maybe make that work if it's the actual Joker.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't the whole time. That's what they reveal at the end of Joker 2. Do you mind if I spoil it?
Yeah, go ahead.
He goes back to Arkham Asylum, and then he finds, so another person, that they kind of set up as having mental issues, tells a joke, and then stabs him in the stomach a bunch of times and kills him, and then cuts the Joker smile into his face. So this new person is the actual Joker.
That is so stupid.
I know. Instantly, I was like, well, that's BS. It's like that entire movie. Like, well, also the entire movie. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with the Joker 2. Too many musical moments. It's like every 5 minutes. I get that you have Lady Gaga, who is horrible as Harley Quinn, but I'm just like, just stop singing.
Nah, my Joker face.
And she's not even playing Harley Quinn. In fact, when she finds out that, like, oh, he's not really the Joker, she breaks up with him.
So she's not actually Harley Quinn.
She's not Harley Quinn. Her name is actually Lee. And what happened was, so she was fascinated by the Joker. So she intentionally checked herself into Arkham to meet him. And then when she finds out that he wasn't who she thought he was, she just bails while she's pregnant with his kid, by the way.
Oh my God.
Look at Nick's face.
This movie is like a freaking onion of bad decisions. The more I hear about it.
Onion of bad decisions. That's so good. Oh my gosh.
I feel like I just had a quote.
That's going on the back of the DVD. This movie's an onion of bad decisions.
Oh my God!
Someone photoshopped the DVD with that on there.
Like, I why do I feel like that's gonna be clipped, and that's gonna be quoted endlessly now?
Oh my gosh, that is the greatest line I think I've ever heard about Joker. It's an onion of bad decisions.
Cameron
Actually,
Bailey.
Look, here's a fun idea. Nick, here's what we're going to do. Let me pull up the Wikipedia summary of the movie, and I'll read it to you. And then you can live react to it.
No, what you need to do is you need to do a Wikipedia edit and says, on his stream Comix Watch, Nick Gibson described this movie as an onion of bad decisions.
I released a lot, like I sent you an honest trailers, like listen to what the critics are saying, an onion of bad decisions. What? All right, so here's the plot. Are you ready? This is gonna be so good. All right.
Okay.
It starts off, by the way, animated. So in an animated short entitled Me and My Shadow, Joker is impersonated by his shadow, who acts violently and takes his place to perform a musical number for a TV show. They then merge back together with Joker before 3 police officers arrive and attack him. Arthur Fleck is in custody at Arkham State Hospital. They don't even say Arkham Asylum, awaiting trial for the crimes he committed 2 years prior. So it's been 2 years. His lawyer, Maureen Stewart, oh no, are they going to try and pull in John Stewart? No.
Oh, God.
That Arthur suffers from dissociative identity disorder and that his Joker personality is responsible for his crimes. At a musical therapy session, Arthur meets Harley Lee Quinzel. They call her Lee the entire movie. This is like a Michelle Jones kind of situation. Exactly. It's that. Who claims that she grew up in the same neighborhood he did, had an abusive father who died in a car crash, and was imprisoned after burning down her parents' apartment building. Lee also expresses her admiration for Joker's crimes and personality. As the relationship developed, they begin imagining life as a stage musical with them in the spotlight through their linked insanity. So at this point in the movie, I think they're setting up Harley and Joker pretty well, because that, for the most part, that doesn't sound as bad. And then it descends into it makes the audience descend into literal madness. There's more. During a film screening, Lee starts a fire. She basically sets a piano on fire. She and Arthur are caught trying to escape, and Arthur's placed in solitary confinement. So she sets a fire on a piano, and then 5 minutes later, the entire asylum's on fire.
I mean, what you got to realize, Jared, is she didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning.
Yeah, exactly. She's like Ryan from The Office.
You set me up for that.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Lee visits him after she is being released to avoid his influence, but promises to attend his trial. She asks him to stop taking his medication. They have sex before he goes. Then he has never had sex before, so she actually has to show him how to have sex. Yes, they show this. So he's literally an incel. During an interview with television personality Patty Myers, Arthur sings to Lee through the TV screen, deepening her love for him. Yes, they do that too. On the day of the trial, Assistant District Attorney Harvey Dent calls witnesses to dismiss Arthur's claims of insanity. During a break, Marianne reveals that Lee was actually a psychiatry student who grew up in the Upper West Side, and her father, a doctor, is alive. Furthermore, she voluntarily committed herself to Arkham, checked herself out, and never burned down an apartment building. When Arthur confronts Lee, she confesses that her lies were an effort to get close to Arthur, but tells him that she is pregnant from their night together and has moved into his old apartment building to create a home for them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, this actually does track with Harley Quinn, because what I love about, like, if you ever watch like media, they always show Harley was actually kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs even before she met the Joker.
Yeah, but in this one, she wasn't necessarily crazy.
Just psycho.
Mm-hmm. At the trial the next day, Arthur dismisses Marianne and represents himself. By the way, he does a southern accent the entire trial. After bringing Arthur's former co-worker, Gary Puddles, the short guy, and neighbor Sophie Dumont to the stand, Harvey rests his case. Visibly affected by Gary's testimony, Arthur offers no defense. During his speech, he mocks the Arkham's guards and indicates that they abuse him. They beat him and strongly imply that... Actually, no, here we go. Returning to Arkham, he is taken to the showers by the head guard, Jackie Sullivan, and 2 guards in retaliation, where he is sexually assaulted by them and brought to the cell partially naked.
That scene.
Yeah, that actually happened. An inmate and friend of Arthur named Ricky verbally confronts the guards, resulting in Jackie strangling him to death. During his closing argument in the court the following day, a devastated Arthur renounces his Joker persona, taking full responsibility for his actions. Enraged by this, Lee storms out. So Harley breaks up with him when she finds that he's not really the Joker. And the jury finds Arthur guilty of murder. As the 4-person reads the verdict, a car bomb explodes outside the courthouse, killing and injuring numerous attendees and scarring half of Harvey's face.
That's a really stupid way of going about that.
In the chaos, 2 followers help Arthur escape, but he abandons them when he realizes they only see him as the Joker. Arthur wanders through Gotham City and encounters Lee on the stairs outside his old apartment, but she rejects him for renouncing his Joker persona. As she leaves, the police apprehend Arthur and bring him back to Arkham. The next day, a guard directs Arthur down an empty hallway to meet a visitor. A young inmate spots Arthur and begins telling a joke before repeatedly stabbing Arthur in the abdomen with a shank. As Arthur falls to the floor and bleeds to death, the inmate, laughing hysterically, carves a smile on his own face. So implying, and this is what Todd is basically saying, Arthur was never the Joker. It's almost like Todd was like, I really wish people didn't like my movie.
Yeah, honestly, like, hearing the synopsis, it just seems like a big, like, middle finger.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's pretty much what it is.
I am so glad I never saw the sequel.
It's such a stupid movie. It is one of the most dumbass sequels I have ever seen. And I've seen Wonder Woman 1984.
Like, you know how bad the movie is? Like, did you notice how quickly it disappeared from the zeitgeist?
Yeah.
Like, 2 weeks.
They took
it was around for 2 weeks, and then they memory hold it as quickly as they could.
You notice how quickly they also made it not like in theaters? That should tell you something.
That's a lot of things, like a lot of movies. There's one movie
if a movie royally fails, they will like take it out of theaters really quick, and they'll go, "Oh, it's going to streaming." You know, it's kind of funny. I didn't think it was that bad until I watched it, and I'm like, oh, it's worse. It is way worse. I know it's bad when I mentioned this to Jay Heat that I watched it, and Jay Heat goes, "Why do you hate yourself?"
Yeah, that would. I mean, I too hate myself. I watched the first episode of Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Oh, come on, that was good. You know it. You just have bad taste in TV shows.
Ugh. So I don't know if you knew this about Invincible. So Conquest was voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yep.
Who played Negan on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know. People were making those memes that it's Glenn versus Negan round 2.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Pika Shades. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So, any updates you want to give on your comics, sir?
Still working on expanding the world, seeing what I want to do past issue 1, but it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to finally launching it.
Yeesh. So I'm hard at work on Quartermain. We got a bunch of the pages colored. I've been showing those to you, Jared. And then once we finish Quartermain, we're going to start working on Screecher 4. And that'll be the end of Volume 1. Oh, gosh. And then, Jared, I don't know if I told you, but I'm working on Project Access again.
Oh, yeah. I saw your tweets about that.
So I got in touch with the original artist, and we are going to do a combined issue 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Because issue 1 was only like 14 pages, and short of doing like a full-on like redo of it, we're just combining issue 1 and 2 to have like a 30-plus page book. So like issue 1 will be like
to the people the plot of Project Access.
Project Access was my very first comic. It's a story of a young guy who wakes up in the middle of the desert, no clue who or what he is. He has certain abilities that even he's not aware of, chased by a corporation that doesn't even exist. So he's got to find out who he is, what he can do, and who the heck is trying to kill him.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, honestly. So yeah.
What you don't know is that it's so ancient that when you open it up, it's an artifact. It's like in one of those like stone like boxes, and then dust comes off when you remove the top.
Oh gosh.
It's an ancient Nick artifact.
Yeah. So if you want to really crazy, I launched that book in 2020, 5 years ago. Yeah, that's
quite a long time, bro.
Yeah, and I actually launched Turn Samurai issue 1 that same year. So yeah, let's wrap up here. Jared, what do you got going on? Where we can find you?
All right. So obviously check out Super Wonder Legacy episode 84, where Brent and I discussed the similarities between Superman and Wonder Woman and Winter Soldier and Black Widow. That was like my number 1 requested couple to compare to Superman and Wonder Woman, so I'm glad I got that done.
Nice.
Wonder Woman Wednesday, I'm thinking of reviewing a Wonder Woman book. I just gotta pick which one, and then haven't picked a movie night one yet, but I'm gonna be having my friend Drew on to talk about his spy book that's coming out, and yeah, that's about all I got.
All right, so on Tuesday we'll be doing some Final Fantasy VII. Friday, I'll be getting a crash course in Warhammer. The YouTuber Warmaster will be on the stream to explain all that goodness. Saturday, we're starting to run through Cyberpunk 2077. And then on Sunday, you'll get more of this handsome fellow, where we'll be talking about our favorite superhero games.
Heck yeah.
And then
I'll be sure to bring all the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League lore. I'm only kidding.
And next week, we'll have a very good discussion. We'll be talking about the Punisher symbol and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna reach out to some people.
Did you see the first images of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage?
I did, and I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, like hang on, real quick.
Okay.
He's not the actor I would cast maybe, but from this image alone, it actually looks not that bad.
I actually really like Carl Urban as an actor, and
Butcher.
Just going off the image, yeah, I'm getting the vibes.
And here's the thing. If you see him as like Butcher, because if you PG eyes Butcher a little bit, he can do a Johnny Cage thing.
Yeah. I've got like 10 face blue smiling. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. Basically right now, if I were to go Warhammer, I'd probably go Orcs.
Yeah, but trust me, those models are unless you get like, let's say a 3D printer, be prepared to spend a lot on those models because they are expensive.
That's definitely what I keep hearing. So thank you, Jared, and I shall see you on Sunday and then Monday, and then all you guys, I appreciate you, and remember, I can only show you the door. You just have to walk through it.